Hello, friends, and welcome back to another set of malicious compliance stories. Today's story is about a delivery worker who tried to be efficient until a grumpy coworker decided to lecture him for it. Fast forward a week later, and that same coworker got hit with the ultimate dose of "you wanted it, you got it." But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with a turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. The 560-kilo lesson in gratitude. So this happened a while ago. I had to deliver some of our company's products from one worksite to another multiple times. I usually arrive before the other employees started their work, so I figured I could unload my car already in order to save my coworkers time and for me to not be interrupted during my work later during the day. Plus, I was the one who knew which products were ordered by which customer, so I didn't have to spend time on figuring out which belongs to which customer, since I was the one who loaded everything into the car. So I put all the loose products for each customer from the trunk on a separate Euro pallet, pushed it into our workshop with a pallet truck, put the delivery notices on each of them, and left them in a visible place for my coworker to move them wherever he wanted, whenever he wanted, without much hassle or manpower needed. When he arrived and started working, I went up to him and told him what products arrived and for which customer these were in order to make sure he knows about the orders as well. Since I didn't know where to put the pallets, I placed them into the workshop via the pallet truck because I didn't want these products to stay outside and opening up an opportunity for passerbys to steal the company's products. After I did this same procedure twice, he came up to me and gave me a 10-minute lecture about how it could possibly come to my mind to make such a huge mess in the workshop. He criticized that I put the products in the wrong place, messing up his storage system, and that the products fell off the Euro pallets all the time. Which is funny because it didn't happen when I used the pallet truck to bring them into the workshop. As such, he declared I'm not allowed to unload the car again. A week later, we received a huge order with over 2 tons worth of products. I had 560 kilograms of different products customized but not packaged in my trunk. As per his request, I didn't unload the car. At some point, he came up to me and asked me to unload the car. My response? No, I'll just make a huge mess in the workshop, and we don't want the products to fall off from the pallets. You should just do it by yourself. His face when he realized he had to sort it all out himself and manually unload it was quite funny. It was even better when he noticed I couldn't bring a delivery notice because the order wasn't complete yet. Thus, he had to check every single product and write down what products arrived and what quantity already, all by himself. Of course, I knew the quantities, but he didn't ask me. That 5-minute task easily took him half an hour to do. This story really highlights a workplace truth. People who can't handle initiative often end up creating inefficiency to protect their ego. You weren't trying to overstep, you were thinking ahead. You had the knowledge, the timing, and the process figured out. But instead of recognizing that, your coworker needed control more than he needed help. And so you let him have it. Control, responsibility, and consequences all in one package. And our second story. The day a Karen declared war on my '68 Chevelle at the beach. Alright, so for context, I drive a 1968 Chevy Chevelle. She's a big car, and I'm very proud of how I've restored her over the course of a decade plus. She's my daily, and I often get comments ranging from "cool car" to "oh my god, what are you doing driving that?" I'm pretty laid back, so I let the negatives roll off me. I rarely get negatives, thankfully, as most responses are more jealousy and awe than anything. Anywho, today I'm cruising the beach after I got off work early, and there's always a nice spot to park, watch the waves, and chill. Where I park is a little off to the side, so thankfully not a lot of people park there, and like I said, my Chevelle's a big girl with good hips on her. I like the end because it gives me a bit more maneuverability when I'm done with few cars around. So I'm parked, I'm chilling, just listening to some Bon Jovi and eating some trail mix when I hear honking. I look over and see, let's call her Karen, in a decent-sized SUV. She's honking and pointing at me. I ignore her as I'm legally parked along the curb and not in her way. It's a bit tight if she wants to park, but she's welcome to behind me. This is important. Well, Karen don't like that, so she gets out and walks over to me, meanwhile leaving her SUV in the middle of the road. Karen, excuse me, can you move? Me, I'm sorry? Karen, you've been parked here forever. You need to share the space. Me, I've only been here 10 minutes. and I don't have to move. Karen, you need to share the beach. It's not like you're actually here to enjoy it, you and this disgusting old wreck. Me, okay, first off, I've spent over 10 years building my car, and as you can see, she's very well taken care of. Second off, there's enough room on the curb behind me for your car. Lastly, it doesn't matter what anyone drives. I can park here and enjoy the beach as long as I like. Karen, no, you have to move now. It's disrespectful to us who are trying to have a nice evening with our kids. You don't need to park here. You're blocking the view with this old junk. Me, ma'am, if you don't leave me alone, I'm just going to sit here longer. You can pull in behind me and be fine. This pissed her off, and she walked back to her car. I figured that was the end of it. Nope, she tries going around me, in front of me. Now again, Chevelle's a big car, wide hips. I jumped out of the car and had to stand in front of her giant SUV because she about scraped my back fender. The space between was about the size of a fist. I'm protective of my car and the amount of time and money that went into it. I ain't letting no Karen scratch her up. Me, hey, you gotta back up. You're gonna hit. You gotta get back up the way you came. You can't fit here. Karen, get out of my way. Get out. Me, you will literally wreck your car. It's too narrow. Back up. Now, amidst all the arguing, other people heard us, and someone else convinced this Karen I was telling the truth and got her to back up. She eventually did like a 10-point turn in the tiny space and left in a huff, flipping us off. Afterward, a beach security/lifeguard/whoever came over to me asking what was going on, that he got a complaint that I was barring people from seeing the beach and polluting the air with my disgusting car. Thankfully, 2 of the passers-by were still around checking out my car and corroborated my version of events. He acknowledged that what I did was right in trying to prevent an accident and that I was in the legal zone for parking on the curb. He said he gets calls every once in a while for accidents because 2 big cars will try and squeeze around each other and cause scrapes and scratches on cars. Honestly, in all my years of driving my car, I got to say I've never quite had an experience like this. Man, Karen must have woken up that day and thought, how can I lose an argument in front of total strangers? Because she really gave it her all. You're just vibing, eating trail mix, minding your business, parked illegally. She rolls up honking like she's summoning geese, calling your car old junk. Lady, that old junk could outlast your entire SUV fleet. And our next story. After a snotty comment, I made sure the whole store knew she was wrong about the sale. So I worked at a grocery store that's notorious for poorly worded sale signs. It's pretty common that I have to over-explain sales specifications to customers and typically apologize for how complex simple stuff is. Specifically, I work in the bakery and we had a sale for some of our breads. Buy 2 and get them for $3.50 each. I get a call from a register up front telling me that a woman has a couple of our in-store breads and she says they're on sale, but they're ringing up regular price. I tell her they are on sale and ask if she has 2 different kinds, which she says yes. I grab one of the kinds she has, the multi-grain one, the other was butter crust, and run up to the front of the store with the bread. We scan 2 of the multi-grain and it shows up on sale. As a result, we assume that the sale is only for 2 of the same kind. The woman gets upset and says she didn't think running in for some bread would be so damn difficult. I agree and apologize, and the 2 of us call over our supervisor, who rings her in for the deal on her 2 different breads, giving her the sale regardless. I go back to my department and check the sign again. The woman comes up behind me and points to the sign, emphasizing that she's right and I'm wrong. I don't know why she came back since she got her way, but again I apologize, telling her that sometimes the signs are worded badly. She tells me I should fix that, but since it's a chain store, we get the designs from head office outside the store, so I tell her I can't change it. Yet, seems problem-solving skills are hard to come by at this store. She walks off, and I'm pissed. I now read the sign again, properly now that I don't have a Karen breathing down my neck, and read that the sale is only for our grain bread, so the butter crust wasn't part of the deal. I figured I'd chase after her and let her know just in case she came back. I honestly did want to be nice about it and save her the trouble next time she came in. I call after her as she makes her way to the exit. This bee effing ignores me. So being the kind person I am, I just yell out at the front where all the customers are paying, "Ma'am, the sale didn't work because the butter crust wasn't listed. Have a good night." She just walks out faster. I hope out of embarrassment. I wish she was a one-time offender, but every time she comes by the bakery, there's always something for her to roll her eyes at. It's great. Oh, OP, I could feel the retail rage radiating from this one. That quiet, simmering fury that only comes from dealing with someone who insists they're right when you're literally standing there holding the proof they're not. People like her, the kind who come back just to rub it in after already getting their way, aren't there for customer service. They're there for an ego boost. She needed to win, and when you didn't fight her, she had to come back to gloat. Classic Karen logic. And our last story. HOA Karen tried to ban my pickup, so I parked a crop duster in my yard instead. For years, I worked on my pickup truck, fixing, modifying, replacing parts when needed. Nothing special, just a reliable old truck that got me from one job to the next. No problems, no complaints. Then the HOA got a new president. Her name was Margaret, but everyone called her Karen. She was the kind of woman who treated bylaws like something sacred. Before she was even in charge, she made life hell for anyone who owned a pet or let their grass get half an inch too tall. She once called animal control because she thought someone's golden retriever was trained for fighting. So when she became president, things went downhill fast. A few weeks into her reign, I got a bright orange envelope taped to my door. Notice of violation. Commercial vehicles are not permitted in driveways under HOA bylaws. Please remove your work truck within 7 days or face fines. My work truck? It was a plain white Ford pickup. No company name, no logo, not even a bumper sticker. The only thing in the back was a small toolbox. I emailed the HOA to clear things up. A day later, I got a message from Margaret herself. Your vehicle gives the appearance of a work truck, which affects neighborhood aesthetics. Please move it. That word aesthetics told me everything I needed to know. This wasn't about rules, this was about her wanting control. I ignored it. Then came the fines, $100, then $200, then $500. Every time I refused to pay, I sent her the bylaws, photos of the truck, even got a few neighbors to back me up. Didn't matter, Margaret had made it personal. Eventually, I got a final letter threatening to take legal action. That's when I called my brother Ethan, who happens to be a real estate attorney and has dealt with more than his share of HOA nonsense. He looked everything over and said she doesn't have a leg to stand on, but if you want to shut her up for good, we can make this fun. That's when I remembered something. My buddy had an old crop duster plane sitting in his barn. The engine was dead, but it still had its wings and propeller. He'd been looking for someone to haul it away for scrap. 3 days later, Margaret got her wish. The pickup was gone. In its place sat a bright yellow crop duster parked diagonally across my driveway. I was tightening the tie-down straps when Margaret's beige SUV came screeching to a stop in front of my house. She slammed the door so hard I thought the mirror would fall off. "What is that?" she shouted. "Technically," I said, "that's a 1960s Grumman crop duster. Beautiful, isn't it?" "You can't have that here," she snapped. "Sure I can," I said, handing her a printed copy of the HOA rules. "Show me where it says airplanes are prohibited." She started flipping pages, her face getting redder by the second. "This is ridiculous." She stormed off, muttering something about calling the city. They didn't care. Code enforcement laughed when she tried. The cops came once, looked at it, shrugged, and told her it wasn't illegal to own a plane. For the next few weeks, it was glorious. Every morning, I'd sit on a lawn chair next to that plane while she drove by, glaring holes through her windshield. My neighbors thought it was hilarious. One even started calling my place Runway 7. Eventually, she realized she'd lost. A month later, a new notice showed up, this time much more polite. It said the HOA had reviewed my situation and determined my pickup was not in violation after all. All fines were rescinded. So the plane went back to my buddy's hangar, and my truck returned to its usual spot in the driveway. Margaret never said another word to me. That was 2 years ago, and I still get a little grin every time I see her walking her tiny dog past my house. She doesn't make eye contact anymore, just quickens her pace like I'm going to roll an airplane out again. I even sent her a Christmas card last year with a photo of a crop duster and a note, "Thanks for keeping the neighborhood skies clear. Your favorite pilot, Jake." Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.